right.
The Atlanta Falcons have selected Michael Penix Jr., the 4th quarterback taken off the board out of Washington.
Wow.
He is not here. He's at his family's residence or some sort of building to celebrate this back at home. A man who was at Indiana, led them to having success in the Big Ten, something that they haven't seen before that or have seen since then. Then he goes over to Washington with Kalen DeBoer, and he has immediate success. Goes on to take them to the national championship. They lose inevitably to a Michigan team, but Michael Penix to the Atlanta Falcons, who just signed Kirk Cousins to a $130 million deal just a few weeks ago. Raheem Morris, new head coach down there, obviously had to have some sort of say in this. We like Michael Penix.
Whoa.
We love Michael Penix. Did not expect the Falcons to be in the quarterback game whenever we were chatting about all this. Mad Mo, how come you didn't tell us that this was potentially going to happen?
Well, because I think this is pretty idiotic. Nothing against Michael Penix. I love Michael Penix as a prospect, can throw all 3 phases of the field, can really move it down the football field. You just mentioned it, though.
48 years in a war room. And as we chatted earlier about our draft board, everybody has a different draft board. Everybody has a different ranking system. Do you think Michael Penix was like their favorite quarterback, and that if he was available, they were going to take him? Or how do you think the Atlanta Falcons got to this position, you think, Bill?
Yeah, I think it's just that. They obviously like the kid. I think this is an example where you probably could have traded back to take Penix. Maybe they thought that Denver or somebody else was going to slide in there. I don't know, but this seems a little high for him. But there's a lot to like about Penix. There's a lot to like about this kid. He's very mature. They talk about the injuries, but he's been healthy the last 2 years, and he's won a lot of games, on a good football team at Washington. So, it's an interesting pick, and it's interesting. Look, having 2 good quarterbacks isn't a bad thing.
Have you ever seen anything like this, though? You pay a quarterback and then you draft one in the top 10?
A lot of money.
I mean, you have Aaron Rodgers, and you took Love in the top, well, not in the top 10. I think he was like 20, but yeah, hey, that's why there's 32 different teams. They all have their own boards. They have their own philosophies. They all have their own logos. So.
Didn't Oz, whenever he walked out of here, he said
something's up.
He said everything is kind of going how it is. Something's about to happen. And then boom, all of a sudden the Atlanta Falcons take Michael Penix Jr. You talk about Aaron. Aaron had been there for 16 years or something. They just go out and get Kirk. They had to court Kirk. They had to win in free agency with the offer they gave him for a couple other places that were, assumingly in on Kirk Cousins, and now they get Penix. Maybe this is we want him to sit for a year or 2. We want him to watch Kirk be a professional. I have no idea, but you got to assume they have
at least two, right? I mean, if you sign Kirk to this monster deal, you can't say, hey, well, it's one and done, and you're out of here, Kirk.
I'm pretty worried that Oz the mentalist went into the Falcons front office and was like, hey, listen.
I need some shit.
You're going to have to take Michael Penix Jr. I'm going to turn your brains into mush right now on the spot. So when it comes to that time, when 8 rolls on and you are on the clock, I know you might want one guy. You're taking Penix or else you're dead.
How about this? Going into the draft,